All right, my friends, this is going to be a pretty much entirely free masterclass on how to live your life by design. I'm going to go give you guys everything I've learned over the last 8 years of building businesses, working for myself, opening up a brick and mortar location when I was 23, doing over 6 figures that year, doing 6 figures my first year in online coaching, and how I've been able to do all of this, but more importantly, do it in a way that does not soul suck fulfillment and joy out of my life. And I've been able to do it full time. So if your goal at all is to be able to create a business that gives you fulfillment and produces money without losing yourself, then this is going to be for you. And I strongly believe that if you implement and fix one of the three problems we're going to cover in this business, you should be set, right? So hopefully my goal is that with that, you go on and create some more positive light in the world and you get some better results. And at the bare minimum, you share that positive light with others, right? And if you do that, we're even, right? Sounds good with me. So if that's your goal, let's talk about the three main problems to doing this, right? Number one, and I think this is probably most people's most important things, right? Let's say client acquisition or more bread, right? So how many of you guys watching this video would like if I showed you right now how to guaranteed make more money in your business, or at the bare minimum compete with all the people who are in your same niche doing the same service or whatever that seemingly maybe seem like they're doing better than you, or they're being able to at least have that thriving, producing money side of the equation? And number one, like if you don't have a lot of clients and you're struggling with that, let's cover that first, right? So I'm gonna give you two proven techniques right now that people, I guarantee you, are charging thousands and thousands of dollars to teach you. You can learn it for free. And this is the sad truth. There's no magic bullet to getting more clients, right? The sooner you face that fact and the sooner you stop searching for like the magic key, the quicker you will actually receive the people who you're supposed to help with your business. Because you have to understand, all business owners do is solve a problem. So if you can just go back to the roots and the foundation, then we also boil it down that there's really only one formula for success, right? Which is eyeballs to some type of product, service, or offer, right? There is literally nothing else. All things boil down to this. You can win, and the people winning in your, city, state, area, space, online community are winning because they have more eyeballs going to a better product or service. Now, I'm not here to teach you guys how to have a better product or service, right? Like this is through causing, you have to try to do that. And I'm not here to make somebody who has absolutely nothing, all of a sudden scam people into buying something that's actually worth nothing. You should start with having a good one of these. But most people have one of these and they get in their own way because they don't know how to get more eyeballs, right? And there's lots of different ways you can do it. But at the end of the day, you want to create some type of funnel in your business that converts eyeballs into sales, right? There's lots of different ways to do this. Again, I think I've covered this on my page, but if not, this is I'm going to give you guys the QuickBooks version, right? You want to bring in people through either organic or paid efforts. And I'll say efforts because some people aren't even online, which is crazy, right? Then you want to nurture. And then there's a CTA to ask for the sale, right? It's very straightforward and simple. Okay, so if you guys are in a place where you're really good at this, and most business owners struggle because they're so good at the product or service, and they've spent most of their life or their time just like building up the skill in making the product or service really good, which is necessary. I heard something from Gary Vee the other day. Is that the first part of your life you earned? I don't even think it was Gary Vee. I don't know who said it, but it's the first part of your life you earned. Second part of your life you earned. It was Denzel. And the third part of your life you returned, right? And so a lot of people have been spending a long time learning and getting really good at a specific thing that you would like to have more people to sell it to, right? I think 100% that you could do this if you just had more eyeballs to the thing, right? And we can all agree on that. And like, Maybe you're like, okay, yeah, I get it, but I'm not good at the things that require me to get more eyeballs. So slow down, we're going to teach you. Here's the truth. It has nothing to do with skill, ability, right? Or intelligence to be able to get more eyeballs on your product or service. That comes down to doing things in a manner that makes sense. And the best people in the online space or in the regular brick and mortar space, they understand that somebody else, and this is the light bulb that I hope you guys, I want you to go off of, right? Somebody else, well, this is an interesting drawing, right? Somebody else already has figured out the code in your area, in your niche, in your thing. Their competition. Somebody's winning, right? There's got to be someone in your market. So they have already, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Right? You don't want to do that. Right? Now, how do I know that this works? Right? Because I saw my mentor, who was 3 years younger than me at the time, doing multiple six figures in every 30 days in his business, following this structure. And I realized something all of a sudden. It is possible that my product or service, if getting into the right eyeballs with the right amount of volume, would be able to produce the result that I want. Right? Now, how do you create this? By simply beginning to post organic content, by first looking at who in your niche is already being successful, not stealing what they're doing, taking the foundation of what they've built, how they manage their value, how they communicate their product or services value, and figuring out how you can take your own spin and be able to bring that value to the customers that you were already going to serve. This is the reason why. I think Pablo Picasso said, good artists create, great artists steal, because at the end of the day, there's no such thing, again, as any more information outside of you need more eyeballs to the product or service. Like, people are trying to sell you in all the different ways you can do this, but it doesn't really matter. Reason why I say organic efforts or paid efforts, because there's been all types of ways since the beginning of time. Okay, before people ran Instagram ads, they would pay to go to trade shows. They would pay for vendor booths. You would pay for newspaper ads. You'd pay for radio ads. You pay for TV sponsorships, right? These concepts of paid advertising and organic advertising, where people just go door to door, where they just ask their neighbors, or they just build word of mouth, and they just go figuring it out, just getting better, getting better. It's never changed, except for now it's easier for the modern day business owner, because even if you don't have any skills or intelligence or any connections, you can simply pull out the thing that's in your pocket 24/7, record some videos with low effort, low cost, everything, be able to work on your craft, get better at communicating the value. And I'm telling you, if you just take on picking any type of funnel in the world, you guys can have more customers. Now, inside our community, True Diamond Mindset, we go over the exact follower funnel that I do in the personal brand masterclass inside there. You guys can join if you want to get that exact thing, but it's pretty simple, right? I'll tell you in a simple way, right? IG ad that says, come follow me, appointment setting, says, hey, can we get on a call? Does that make sense? Sales call, client. There you go. There's the mystical funnel, right? How you do this matters more. How you have the correct messaging, that takes a longer conversation than I have today. But the point is if you want to figure it out, number one, go to the people who is already winning and straight up, look, use their framework. You can take the hooks. If you don't know what hooks are, that is the beginning of the video. That hooks users' attention to be able to listen to what they have, and then use your XP, man. You guys have been spending years already making this better. You've been spending years already getting yourself better as it is, right? You are unique. You do have value. There are people on this planet, if you didn't see my last video about this, there are people on this planet who need you specifically to show up as your best self. They literally need your product. They already have the problem that it serves, and they would like that problem to be gone. And you could help them do that if you would be able to get and go through these steps to get more eyeballs, okay? And number three, now this is gonna be a little hack for you guys, okay? So write this down. I don't do these often, but this is gonna be called Market Siphon. And your competitor's about to be pissed that I taught you this, right? I don't even think I spelled siphon right. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go in your town and find the most successful internet page, like Instagram pages with customers similar to yours. Okay? Literally, I did this when I first opened up my brick and mortar. We moved to a town where I knew absolutely nobody. And all I did was went to the Instagram pages of that town of the most successful businesses who had customers who I thought might be also customers that I could use, right? Like I thought the same thing. And I was like, okay. And I just followed all those people and engaged with their page for free. And sure enough, some people started to follow us back. And then once people followed, here's the sauce. Here we go. Send them some goodwill. Now, Alex Hormozy talks about the Goodwill bank account, and that's basically where you're giving things to your audience and new eyeballs, basically, without asking for anything in return. Similar to how I'm literally teaching you guys everything that I've paid tens of thousands of dollars to learn in order to create and live my life by design, because I want you to add to your Goodwill bank account. So that way you feel better, you get results, and our relationship is better, right? You can do the same thing in your business. When we had a brick and mortar business and we sold smoothies, meal replacement shakes, what we did is every new follower that came in, we would send them off a 50% first time only coupon. This incentivized them to want to come in to get to know us because we've just given them a gift off just only asking for the follow. And then also it gives them a chance to try us out for half the price. And then once they try us out, they like the product, it gives us our chance to show off what we're made of and to really solve the problem. And therefore that we're in the market and we were able to create again a 6-figure business our very first year in a completely cold town doing just this, right? So again, I have showed you people thousands of dollars, guys. Instagram ad, appointment setter, sales call, client. That's it. Okay, ask people to follow you, talk to people, follow people, get gritty. There's 1,000 different million trillion free videos that tell you how to do this. We're gonna cover the reason why it's so much harder, okay? 2, if you really want to get to it, I just taught you the market siphon technique that will legitimately print followers from your town who can come use your service today. Okay, number one is solved, right? Getting people in our business. That's the first part. Okay, now let's cover the second most painful problem for us business owners. And listen, if you guys are getting value already, I want you to like that video, maybe subscribe, help the boy grow the channel, reach more business owners so we can help other people live their life by design. Okay. And number 2, and this is important. Okay, we need to actually design the optimal life. Okay. I taught you guys what you wanted to know first because most people think that their problem is that they don't have enough clients in the business. I truly believe, from what I've seen from my most successful clients, is that most business owners have actually never taken the time to design what it looks like to be ultra successful all the time. And I'm not talking about reasonably successful. And I'm not talking about being kind of successful. I'm talking about most people I talk to in business have the same approach to their business. Well, I'm just kind of working things out. I'm giving it a shot. I'm trying my best. Even when you ask and you talk to other people, if you're not speaking on your business and life in a way that's designing and pushing and moving it forward to where you want to go, what do you think you're doing? It's not nothing. In a long time, I thought it was nothing and I thought it was fine to not like skip out on this step. But I'm telling you, you need to design the optimal life to a T. What is it that you want to do? Here's some things you can ask yourself right now. This one question should set you free. If I had everything I wanted, underline everything, how would I feel? Now remember, this is important, and it's a deeper question than what it seems like. Our goal, and your goal, my goal, is not to just have enough money, not to have just a business that produces money. And I want to have fulfillment, and I don't want to lose myself. Because if you're like me and you've had success in other areas, right, you may have lost yourself in the chase of money, trying to get somewhere just for financial gain and end up in a soul-sucking business. When I was a video editor for an investor, right, this guy was trying to build a personal brand coaching business, and he was probably one of the most wealthy individuals I ever met in my life. Having to edit his videos, which were informative, made me feel like ripping my eyeballs out. However, I was making more money than I had ever made at any job, working less hours on my own time in my computer, doing something that I loved. So I had half the equation, even 2/3 the equation, but I lost myself. And that is important. So you got to have all three. So in order to have all three, we have to design the optimal life. And we have to have exactly, no, if I had everything, if my business had those 15 clients, okay, let's say, okay, Arias, I'm fired up. I just saw the video, the part before that. I'm going to go get 20 clients this month. Okay, so what is it that you think that that's going to do for you? And I have to pause because this is a deep question I had to ask myself on my own journey. What is it that you think having this goal completed will do for you spiritually, emotionally, healing wise, mindset? How would that feel? Right? If I gave you everything, if I gave you $100,000, and this is the sad truth, a lot of us, so our definition of everything is just more money in our business or more material items. This car I always wanted, this vacation I want to go on, this thing I want to buy for my kids or my wife or whatever the case is. But why do you even want to buy those things? Why does it even matter? What do you want to do? And when I asked myself this question, I realized that the only thing I really ever wanted to do was be happy, proud, and provide for the people that I love and help me do the other two. Right? I wanted to be happy, proud, and provide. That's it. Right? And when you start to ask yourself, okay, yeah, I want this goal, I want this dream life, and you get super clear on what it is that you want, right? I'm not telling you guys to not have clarity, right? I'm saying the opposite of that. Have so much clarity that you even understand why you want those things, right? I'm saying if your guys' goal is to have a, big, if you're like me, right, you want that 2500 Ram, right? And you don't want to care about how much the gas costs, and you can't do that right now. Why do you even want that? What is it going to make you feel once you're driving that type of vehicle? And the sad reality is most of the time, once we design and realize and try to start doing this designing of the optimal life, you have to take a step back because you realize, oh, maybe I don't even want those things. Or maybe, and this is the best part that you can think, maybe I already have some of this now. Because when I peeled back the layer and I said, the only reason I want to have a business that produces me money and I don't lose myself and I have fulfillment, right, is so that I can continuously, every day, when I wake up and when I go to sleep, be happy, proud, and provide for the ones that I love. And then I had to ask myself a little bit ago, yeah, maybe we haven't reached to, destroy the earth with our gas of our 2500 Ram, right? We reached that level, but I am happy. I am proud of the clients and the business that I built so far, and I provide for the ones that I love. This is my full-time job, right? So I already have achieved what I really want, which means I can start to feel, and here's our hack to get through this. Once you design what you want and you realize what the optimal life is, and not just the materials, but the deeper reason about like why. Why do you want it and what do you want? Once you have that down to a science, right, then you get to feel those emotions, and begin the journey from the end. Okay? You need to begin the journey that you're going on in your business, in your life, from the end. When you begin to take the steps into your business, you begin to start creating the funnels, you're starting to get more eyeballs, you're starting to design your dream life, you've put it down on paper, right? You need to do that from a place of having realized that you already have everything you're looking for and all these other things. I am already happy, proud, and I provide when I just take a moment to be grateful for what I've built right now. Right? So stop for a moment after you decide. Take a look at your life. Take a look at the accomplishments. Stop. We're so quick to build ourselves down and to break down everything that we've done wrong and to expose and to highlight all of our messes. But we very rarely take time to be grateful and to give ourselves grace for all the things that we've already built, all the things that we've already designed and live in now. Because it's my belief you're probably already living in the life that you designed. But most of us have just never designed the optimal one. And here's the other tip. Stop designing the life you don't want. Okay? I can't make this up, right? I was talking to somebody who wanted to start a business one time. And they said, yeah, well, I want to do it, but I'm nervous because I know that on average it takes business owners 3 to 5 years to profit, and I'm not going to be able to, handle that kind of loss of income, so we can't take the risk, right? So in this situation, this person is literally telling themselves they're designing a life in which that they are not going to make any money or profit until 3 to 5 years in, and that because of that, for them to choose this business that could end up completely changing their life, making more money than they know what to do with, they're going to instead wait for a moment when they can safely financially handle losing all income for 3 to 5 months. It will never happen because you're designing the opposite. Instead, when you're kind of crazy with things, and I'm not telling you guys to go into financial ruin, but when you kind of have faith over fear, you're designing the optimal route. I have this, really strong belief that there's no point in being realistic or like negative. There's no point in addressing what could go wrong. We all know it, right? I'm not telling you guys to be ignorant of danger or to be ignorant of risk. You should know the risk, but you should decide that the benefits outweigh it and be willing to have faith in those benefits, right? If you're not willing to take the risk, don't take the risk. But what a lot of people do and a lot of business owners do is they try to design an optimal life where they think that they can have what they want without risk, or in a way that's always comfortable, in a way that's always safe feeling. And in my experience, I haven't seen it happen yet. And maybe you guys have, and you had an awesome cupcake way to the top, but I've just never seen it. And I've talked to a lot of millionaires, and it wasn't that case for them. Most of us had to design our optimal life, go through the fear wall, go through the terror barrier to being able to become the person we want to be, able to have this dream life, and to be able to keep going, right? And that leads me to my third and final point on how to do this. Okay, so we know we have designed our dream life. We understand how we're going to get more clients in our business. We know that we're going to become the person who has already gotten those goals done at the beginning, so that way we get those results faster. And I just taught you a little secret sauce there, but I snuck it in, so we'll leave it alone. But then here's the number 3. This is by far the most important thing. So if you're still in the video, kudos to you, because people who left, they missed out, right? You have to go through what Neville Goddard calls the interval of time, to go through time with zero attachment to results. Now, this is hard. This is super hard, okay? But it also ties in everything that we've already talked about. You have to, and I mean it's critical, move through this journey of designing, living, and sustaining your dream business and life in a way that while you're putting in the inputs of the person who already has that dream life, you do it from a place of total detachment of the results of what you're doing. Now, I've said a lot of words, but what I mean is if you decided to go through this whole thing and you said, okay, I want to have a business where I make $15,000 a month doing what I love. And what I happen to love, if you're like me, maybe you're a video editor and you're like, I love making video edits for my friends. I think I could do it. I know it's a high skilled pay, whatever, right? And you say, I'm going to start reaching out or set up my Fiverr or do whatever. I'm going to start reaching out to influencers on Instagram, but I'm going to do it believing that I already make 15K a month. and that I know that when I do these activities, this is what ultimately produces this income and this fulfillment in my life. So I'm going to do it from this place of abundance and this place of knowing. Like, you can ask yourself, if you had done the thing that you want to do, the reason you clicked on this video, if you already had it, if you're already making that, and you knew that you only make that if you continue up these habits and continue to live from this place, what would you do to protect that? Right? If I gave you $100,000 every 30 days, but I said all you have to do is be happy, grateful, and be able to be present with the people that you love and not overthink about the things that you're doing and to only follow your intuition and to not give up, if that's all you had to do, how easy would that be? Right? You'd be like, of course I'd do that, right? It's $100,000. Well, listen, if you actually believe that that's going to take you there, then do it now with zero attachments of what happens when you're doing it. Why? Because you're repetitively saying to the God in the universe, I'm ready. I'm ready. I know it's here. I know it's here. Because somebody who already has it wouldn't be frantically checking to see if it's coming. They wouldn't be doing these things with the expectation of results because the results would already be within them. And you guys can start to move like this in your business. And I've seen it with time and time again with my client Han, who doubled his barber business and who literally just got a $350 client from just trying to wake up from the sun like your boy, right? My boy Chad, who got his first inquiry for his clients, is also quadruple super grown his YouTube channel and just quit smoking nicotine. They're totally unrelated things. But mastery of the self and living in that end state will quite literally bring you the business, fulfillment, the money, and more importantly, you will be fully aware of yourself because you're living as the best self. You guys, when you're a kid, you know about this. You know that you have those powers. You know that you have this confidence. You know that you have this innate ability. But through the world of business and life, we get beat down, right? We get absolutely shoved back into the corner. We get told this is too hard. Through our own attempts at results in the past, we realize I can't do this, or I don't like doing this, or if we try to do things and we don't get the results, then we start to judge it preemptively, and then we don't take care of the actual inputs, and we never can get the result because we never gave ourselves a fair chance. So you have to be able to go through time without results, right? And one of the easiest way to do this, right, is to find a community of people who is also doing this. The reason being is it's a lot harder to fail when you know you got other people waiting for you. You know, Han's win was inspired by Chad's ability to get up, not by mine. And he did that inside our community, True Diamond Mindset. But when you're joined with a community, you guys don't have to join mine. When you get into around people who are aligned on the same thing and who are also willing to go through zero attachments, and they also sometimes, and this is hard, sometimes when you go through people in the community who are doing better than you, it allows you to have no attachments because you can see the actual results of what happens when you stay consistent. It's very easy also to let comparison be the thief of joy, but I have to encourage you. My mentorship program, I'm in a group with coaches who are doing multiple millions of dollars, right? And when I see that, it reminds me that I can have anything that I want and that I can have no attachments through the putting in the reps right now, because as long as I can stay consistent, I will end up in the same place, right? And here's the other tip to doing things without zero attachment. Remind yourself daily who you are. It sounds straightforward, but again, when we're talking about designing our optimal life, inside our program, we do something called a vision board training. And the point of a vision board is not just to make a magical thing happen where all of a sudden you get everything you want because you wrote it down. The point of it is to remind yourself of who you actually are in the present moment, which is the best version of yourself. You don't have to wait for results to become this. You need to remind yourself who you are now before the results, so that way you can take the necessary actions to get them. Okay, so again, you guys, these 3 problems are the main blocks to you and your business. You know what to do, right? You don't need anything else. You don't need to buy things. You don't even need to join my community. But what you do need to do is become the person who you were always meant to be. So that way you can take action long enough to get results, to get yourself into momentum. Because when you get into momentum, you don't have to force yourself. You don't have to constantly check to make sure you're on track, because being on track is where you live. We all know people like this. I'm a person like this. And if you guys want to join our community for just $25 a week and be able to get around like-minded other business owners who are literally doing these exact same things so that way we can have this business with fulfillment money and remain our authentic selves, then you can check out the link below. Peace, love, and prosperity. I'll see you on the next one.